welcome back to Life on the French. Today we are doing some internet exploring because, as my messy hair indicates, it's a messy time for me in my life. I'm working on finishing my thesis, and I am coping with that by buying books. Don't judge me, everybody has their vices. But I recently discovered a website that supposedly sells good books at significantly reduced prices because they were returned to their bookstores. But unlike buying a used book, they don't have any markings in the pages. And I've been buying a lot of used books recently, and for the most part, I don't mind, writing in books too much. But I did recently read a book that was covered in someone else's writing, and it was a little bit distracting. So anyhow, I thought I would give this website a shot. Also, there was a YouTuber who had a code. If you spent $25, then you got $5 off or whatever. I'm taking you on an adventure with me, and we're gonna buy books together. I realized after doing all of this, putting in my order, and checking out, that I can get you a coupon code without having to be sponsored, because I didn't want this video sponsored. It wouldn't be an objective review. However, they have a Refer a Friend program, so if you use the link in my description, then you get a $5 off $25 code. And then if you use that and you spend the $25 and you use my code, then I get points, reward points that then accumulate to the points that I have already earned by myself. And then maybe I can buy more books. I'm not really sure exactly how it works, how it benefits me, but I know that the coupon code can benefit you. So if you want to take advantage of it, link is in the description down below. So I've already created my account, and I believe the account is free. I did not see anything about a subscription fee. And you get rewards points, I think, based on, how many books you buy, how much money you spend. And then you can get, further deals. First, let's look at some new arrivals. Let's see, what do they have? Is this a good selection? Oh, so they have little kid books. So if you have kids, this might be a good website. Although, pro tip, there are workbooks at the Dollar Tree, but who knows, if they're any good. I haven't reviewed them. I have heard of this book of Undercover Bromance. I can't remember if the reviews were good. I wish they had a star system, the way that if you buy books on Amazon or Kindle, they'll tell you what the reviews are. And I'm scrolling and I don't see anything. But interesting, they do show you similar books, which is good. So if you're interested in this book, you might be interested in these, which are all romance novels. Adult fiction. Oh, I just got a recommendation to read Circe. Beautiful World, Where Are You? That has great reviews on BookTube, but not something I'm super interested in reading. What is this? Okay, it's called Razorblade Tears. Ike Randolph has been out of jail for 15 years, with not so much as a speeding ticket in all that time. But a black man with cops at the door knows to be afraid. The last thing he expects to hear is that his son Isaiah has been murdered, along with Isaiah's white husband Derek. Ike had never fully accepted his son, but is devastated by his loss. Derek's father, Buddy Lee, was almost as ashamed of Derek for being gay as Derek was ashamed of his father's criminal record. Buddy Lee still has contacts in the underworld, though, and he wants to know who killed his boy. Ike and Buddy Lee, two ex-cons with little else in common other than a criminal past and a love for their dead sons, band together in their desperate desire for revenge. In their quest to do better for their sons in death than they did in life, hardened men like Ike and Buddy Lee will confront their own prejudices about their sons and each other as they rain down vengeance upon those who hurt their boys. Interesting. Okay, let's look up this author. So this book debuted as number 10 on the New York Times bestseller list. Cosby says, saved by reading. There were books in his house because his mom liked biographies. His grandmother read trashy true crime stories. An aunt read Stephen King and Clive Barker, and an uncle gave him John D. MacDonald's Travis McGee novels. Cosby was an unapologetic critic of the stuff he read, so much more so than his exasperated mother, and asked him, "Why don't you write your own books?" So interesting. I'll link this article if you want to hear more about this author. Nicholas Sparks, Stephen King. It is interesting, and they do have a ton of classics on here for reasonable-ish prices. There's so many romance novels in this adult fiction genre. It's like romance novels and maybe like classics. I wish that I were rich so I could buy all the books. Okay. I think my next move is to go to romance. How long do you think we scroll before we see a queer romance? Okay, new plan. Let's search for books by keyword. Interesting. I'm with Tan France. Junk. That's what the kids at school call Bobby Lang, mostly because his rundown house looks like a junkyard, but also because they want to put him down. Trying desperately to live under the radar at school and at the home he shares with his angry, neglectful father, Bobby develops a sort of proud loneliness. The only buffer between him and the uncaring world is his love of the long-wooded trail between school and home. Life grinds along quietly and hopelessly for Bobby until he meets Rachel. Rachel is an artist who sees him in a way no one has. Maybe it's because she has her own kind of junk, a parent who hates what Rachel is, gay. Together, the two embark on journeys to clean up the messes that fill their lives, searching against all odds for hope and redemption. Narrated in Bobby's unique voice in arresting free verse, this novel will captivate readers right from its opening lines, urging them on page after page all the way to its explosive conclusion. Interesting. So this is Fans of the Impossible Life, which is similar, I guess, for The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Mira is starting over at St. Francis Prep. She promised her parents she would at least try to pretend that she could act like a functioning human this time, not a girl who can't get out of bed for days on end, who only feels awake when she's with Sebi. Jeremy is the painfully shy art nerd at St. Francis who has been in self-imposed isolation after an incident that ruined his last year of school. When he sees Sebi for the first time across the school lawn, it's as if he's been expecting this blonde-lanky boy with this mischief glinting in his eye. Sebi, Mira's gay best friend, is a boy who seems to carry sunlight around with him. Even as life in his foster home starts to take its toll, Sebi and Mira together craft a world of magic rituals and impromptu road trips designed to fix the broken parts of their lives. As Jeremy finds himself drawn to Sebi and Mira's world, he begins to understand the secrets that they hide in order to protect themselves, to keep each other safe from those who don't understand their quest to live for the impossible. And they're also calling this YA. I think I'm going to add this to cart. Getting farther and farther away. Okay. Gay romance. We have 2 results. 2 results. And I don't even think one how is this gay? Tell me. No. Try that. LGBT. I am pretty disappointed in this selection so far. Try queer. Nope. It says it's just going for queen, as if I've misspelled the word. Lesbian. This could be on. We could be onto something. Interesting. A possibility arises. Okay, let's look at my hearts. What is in my cart already? How many more books do I need to buy? Once I was you. I believe this is it. Holy crap. They had a book that I was looking for. They weren't going to give me free shipping because after I applied my coupon, I was less than $35.
That's stupid.
The coupon should not affect my shipping price. And you know it, BookOutlet. Okay, so what I've decided on are Razorblade Tears, Junk Boy, Fans of the Impossible Life, Midland, Reports from Flyover Country, Once I Was You, Chains, This Is Your Time, and You'll Grow Out of It. And you can see the prices here for each of those books. And there is a sale going on currently, which affects the books. But I have just qualified for $35, so I'm going to proceed to check out. And I'm going to fill out my address without you looking. So as a final note, they said 3 to 10 shipping days. So that'll be, at the latest, it should be April 26th, which is the day my thesis is due. So I will know for sure if they are here by then or not. So my order for my BookOutlet purchase came in today, and I'm happy to report it did come in when it said it would. In fact, it came in with a day to spare. So we are going to be opening my book box, seeing how these books are, and doing a final reveal of all the books that I got. So, one thing that I really like that I wish I could show you, but it has my address on the front, is that it says on the box, "Warning, may contain awesome books," which I just think is really cute packaging. So they have a little pull tab, so I'm going to use that to open it. That's nice. No scissors required. So that's the worst part about opening a package. It's like trying to locate scissors near you. Here we go. So, first book on the top. I have Midland, which is a nonfiction book covering what the news misses from the kind of flyover states. It talks about a variety of different topics. There are 6, I think, stories mentioned in this book. And I'm very excited to read it. Yeah, I can't wait, especially growing up in Indiana, which they're considering a Midland state, which I would too. I mean, I think our motto is like the crossroads of America, like our state sign. So the next one on top is Razorblade Tears, a novel by S.A. Cosby, who is a Black author, and I talked about this a lot when I was deciding to purchase this book, so I'm not going to talk about it a lot here. Like it says, it's returned, but it's not used. The only thing I'm seeing that is like a minor issue is that the book cover here is like folded in, but that will be fixed with time as it is shoved onto a shelf or laying flat, more likely because I'm out of shelf space. The next book that I got, which is also hardcover, is Fans of the Impossible Life by Kate Shelsa. And I just think this is a very fun cover. I will say that the cover on this one is a little more battered than the first 2 books, but again, I got it for such a low price. So I will definitely be reviewing this book on this channel, as well as Razorblade Tears. The next book, which is hardcover, is Junk Boy by Tony Abbott. And this features a queer character, but is not a queer love story, at least based on the blurb. I'm going to be doing a whole video about those books coming up, so this will be going in review there, but I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I believe it's kind of YA, or at least the characters are in their teens, but it also is going to be kind of dark, so perfect, I love it. This is Your Time by Ruby Bridges. It's a lot shorter of a book than I thought it was. But it's nonfiction, and Ruby Bridges is one of the to first go to an integrated school, and it's about like her experience. So I cannot wait to read this very important book. The next book that I got is Laurie Halse Anderson's book Chains. So this is a YA book about a 13-year-old girl who is trying to escape slavery and her experience. So it's historical fiction, and it's a National Book Award finalist. I'm really looking forward to reading this. The next book I bought is You'll Grow Out of It. I believe it's a memoir of Jessie Klein, and it's about femininity and sexism, and it's supposed to be very witty and funny while dealing with important topics. So yeah, the last book I purchased was Once I Was You, a memoir by Maria Hinojosa, who is an Emmy Award-winning journalist, a Latina journalist, and this book was recommended to me by one of my best friends, so I will be reading it in one of my recommended from subscribers videos, because she is a subscriber. And so I can't wait to read this book and review it. Hopefully I love it as much as she does. So, Once I Was You. Okay, so I wanted to give some final thoughts on BookOutlet. So the way that I would approach using this website is like going to a used bookstore. You're going to have to hunt to find the gems. However, there are a lot of gems to be found. Obviously, I was able to find books that I was interested in purchasing, and they came in with like nothing written on the inside, just like anticipated. They had the dots, like all BookOutlet books have. I expected that, but that was really the only blemish on these books. Otherwise, they looked pretty brand new, so that was great. I checked the price on one of the books I was considering buying and compared it to Kindle. It was $5 cheaper to buy it on BookOutlet than to buy a Kindle version of that book. And the book I looked at specifically was Circe. So, yeah, they also had a number of titles that are very popular on BookTube. Circe was one of them. 7 Days of June I saw. Sally Rooney had some books in there. There were some classics. Really the only area that I struggled was finding LGBT romances, but that is pretty common anyway when looking at used bookstores, so I wasn't super surprised by that. And I was still able to find a number of books with queer characters. So overall, I would say it was a positive experience, but it's tempting when you're shopping to think of it like Amazon, and it should just, if you want something, they should just have it. Don't go into it with that mindset or you're going to get really frustrated, which is kind of what happened to me. Instead, go into it with the mindset of going into basically an online used bookstore, and appreciate the things that you do find at the ridiculously low prices that are there. And again, this isn't sponsored, but you can get that coupon down below. As I said, that was the other thing that was frustrating about this website was after I applied my code, so I had added everything up to be $35 because that's where you get free shipping. Then I applied my code, and that brought the total down to $30, but the cost of everything originally was $35, which would have been free shipping. But because I used a coupon, I then had to basically spend another $5 to get the free shipping. And it was worth it to me because I'd rather pay for another book than pay for shipping. But just keep that in mind if you use the coupon. Yeah, and I'm not going to be reviewing these books here. I review books by like genre, so I will be separating these into different piles, and you'll see them cropping up in future videos. So if you want to see me review these books in the future, make sure to click subscribe, ding the bell button to know when we post. But most importantly, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!